Hello, I'm Margaret Hoard, and today's gratitude is titled Mary by Cyndi Williams. There's a woman living in Plano named Mary. She's in her 60s and she was married for 30 years. She's African American. She expected to retire before now, but her husband took off and divorced her, and now she works on the phone assistance line for an HOA. It is the HOA that rules over my little neighborhood. Recently, I read about impossible tasks, and I found myself there. I feel like I do useful things, I do needful things, day after day, but it's all I can do to keep doing these useful, needful things, and sometimes it becomes too much. And a few things get pushed to the side because it's just too many things. When I was younger, I joked, if my bed is made, my checkbook isn't balanced. And this is still true of me. Some things I accomplish, and some things fall to the wayside. So, the HOA stuff involved in living in Olympic heights was one of my impossible tasks. Was I all paid up? I wasn't sure. Then a couple of letters showed up from the HOA on the same day. It took me 2 weeks to open them. Other useful, needful things were accomplished in those 2 weeks. But the letters from the HOA sat on the kitchen table, and in the middle of the night, I woke up and fretted about what might be inside. To deal, I decided every Tuesday I had to have an hour dedicated to dealing with shit I didn't know how to deal with. So I opened one letter from the HOA around 11 this morning and learned that my yard was not in compliance. My front yard is wee. There's a nice medium-sized oak tree right in the center of it with a very decent canopy, and the grass under it is struggling to live under the shade. There's a mountain laurel and a couple of small purple verbena plants and a sorry-ass shrub in front of the sidewalk. I was freaked out by the letter. Would I lose my sweet little house through a lack of leaf blowers? So rather than get on the website, which I tried before and evidently failed to navigate correctly, as I get no email from the HOA, I called the phone number and I got to talk to Mary. Mary didn't reveal herself in any weird way. I told her my deal, in my 60s, divorced a million years, overwhelmed, trying to learn how to do everything over. So I'd been in some sort of isolated cave while the world tromped on ahead of me. And my story shook her story by the shoulder and woke it up. And she told me how we were alike. And suddenly, it was as if we could see each other. All I know is that she is my age, was married about as long as I was, and she expected to be in a totally different place at this point. And we had the loveliest conversation. Her voice, it was like honey. Everything is fine. The front yard is raked and trimmed already. At the end of the conversation, Mary said she hoped if I needed to call the HOA again, that she hoped she would answer. And she said I made her day. And I said, she made my day. And I think we both sincerely meant this. And this is why I would rather talk to a person and try to figure it out on a website or an app or anything else. Thank you, Mary, for a strangely beautiful conversation today.